Thank you so much. Good day, everyone. I'm Ivana Rachmawat, and I'll be moderating this session about the finance trifecta. And I think this session is very interesting for us, finance professionals, finance students, and everyone who is aspired to be a CFO, like both of our speakers here, and move up the career ladder in the company. So let's start this session because we have a lot to unpack, and I'm very honored here to be joined by the two distinguished finance professionals. Both have been a CFO and one have moved to the president director, top of the company. So we have here Mr. Akram and Pak Didik. Welcome to the stage, Bapak-Bapak.
Thank you, Ivana.
Thank you.
Thank you, everyone.
So today we are facing a very different landscape in the economy and finance, where the global economy and the global finance is very interconnected, and there are a lot of risks that coming outside of the balance sheet. So the CFO or finance professional are not only expected to steward the balance sheet only, but also managing what we call trifecta. First is cost optimization, and then finance resilience, and more importantly, is strategic growth of the company. So it's moved beyond what traditional CFO has been expected as so far, because the world is changing. So it is interesting for me personally, because I'm an academia, and then step outside in the real world and learning from the two professionals here in the real world of the practical and the day-to-day experiences that you both have done so far, and move beyond the theoretical framework of whatever academic thing that I've been teaching. So it is interesting, and to catch up maybe, is it how the world have moved? Is it faster than the theory that we have in the finance and academia, those sort of things? So we are expecting this discussion to be more practical, to be more in the real world, and what's the real thing that are happening out there. So first of all, I will begin with the first question for both of our speakers here. The first question is how do you manage or balancing the finance trifecta in your professional life? Because some people say that it's a trade-off between one another, or is it supporting one another? So maybe we can start with Mr. Akram here.
Thank you, everyone. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Actually, Ivana, if you look at it instantly from the outside, you will find out that they are trading off each other.
Okay.
However, this is on the short term. However, if you had a broader look, and on a longer term, they have to reinforce each other. But in order to reach that, you have to have some kind of fundamental traits in order to be able to make them ultimately serving the company objective, to be reinforcing each other, because they are needed for any company. So to have this happening, you have to know your business well. So you have to know how the business is running in order to be able to see if the action I'm taking is a cost cutting or cost optimization. Because there is a difference between cost cutting, that's an easy part, but cost optimization that will not impact the company on the shorter and longer term, but will help their strategy and make it a lean company in terms of their financials and their strategy. Also, if we go from understanding the business, you have to plan your team to be proactive and planning ahead to be able to not eliminating the risk, but see how you can mitigate it as much as possible, because this will build the resilience of any company. going for that without clear communication between the teams to reach this plan or this proactive steps of being one step ahead, you'll not be able to have a same objective of strategy where the company is going forward, how they can achieve their goal. That's on a nutshell of this one.
Thank you, Mr. Akram. I think I have a little bit follow-up question on that because it's very interesting of what you just said, that all of the team in the company should cooperate. And in your company, maybe you can give us a little bit of example. How do you manage the team to collaborate each other? Because we know maybe, in the company, not everyone are in the same page. Maybe the finance guy doesn't understand the engineering part or doesn't understand which other part. So how do you smooth and balance those out in a real situation in your company?
Okay, starting from the finance role, I usually tell my team that they have to be understanding their role. Their role is not like a bookkeeping, but their role are in the driving seat. So yes, finance is a partners, but you cannot have a partner without understanding where are we heading. So the finance are the last gate of any company. So they manage because the finance has a privilege of accessing all the data. So they see the numbers, they see the result of the numbers. At the same time, if they don't communicate this clearly how the actions are impacting the numbers, they will not be able. And not to make everything blaming for everyone, but to have an objective of clear communication, targets, clear map, go through to achieve those targets along different stakeholders in the company.
Okay, thank you. So for the finance professional here, if we see numbers, figures, it's not just a number or figures, it's things that...
Story behind.
Yeah, there is a story and there is a strategy right behind it. Thank you. Very beautiful, Mr. Akram. And how about in Albea, Pak Didik?
Thank you, Ivana. Hello, everyone. So I think as I add more, the explanation from Pak Akram, yeah. So from my experience, the three pillars, okay, like the cost optimization, finance resilience, and also strategic growth is reinforce each others. So for example, yeah, if we have like the proceed cost optimization, of course, we have like the buffer resource, fund resource to allocate into the investing, for example. And in the end, we can support of the sustainability. And the goal is we can have the financial resilience. So for me is cost optimization is not about the cutting costs, but how to make it our cost is more efficient. Okay, deliver the higher output. Okay, in the end, in terms of the value, we can make it. This is more value added content compared with the previously initially. So for me is yes, the first about the cost optimization. The one thing is how to run operational efficient. The second thing is how strategic growth can be support because of we have the enough resource. Without that, we cannot growth, right? You know that in the manufacturing, like the investment of the capex, everything, right? We need to have like the resource fund free, right? For that, so we need to assess about the payback period, about the benefit and cost, for example, right? So for that is can support about the growth for the company because of we have the enough resource. The second thing is we cannot grow if we cannot have like the financial resilience. Okay, so for example, if we say okay, we have the strategic to expand the business, for example, but in terms of the financial resilience we don't have. How to make sure that we have the confidence the business running sustainable? So for me is the three pillars. In my experience, yeah, we need to support together. Yeah. I think it's like the three angel, right? Like the cost, quality, service. We cannot like, put it the cost in the more prioritized comparing with the quality. And also the service is not more than quality or cost. But we need to run together. For sure, I agree with Pak Akram. We have the trade-off, but our focus is how to deliver, optimize of the three pillars. Yeah.
Very interesting, but that one thing that you just mentioned about the period or time dimension on it. Like investment is all about the time dimension. You invest now and you get the return later on. So it is important, I think, for us to view this trifecta not only in a one-time period, but like continuous one. Like a long term of the sustainability of the company. So every strategist in the company should incorporate, like what's the ideal or standard time frame to evaluate this cost optimization versus resilience versus growth, maybe something like that?
Exactly. That's the things, right? That we need to, as the finance leader, also we need to like have the, proactively to see what is the prioritized for that. Okay, from the three pillar. But of course, as the finance leader, we need to also have like the finance business partnering to the commercial, to the operation, everything for the company to make sure that we run effectively and in the end we win the competition for sure. Yeah.
Like the gatekeeper, as Mr. Akram said. Okay, thank you. And let's move and learn about your experience, Mr. Akram here, because it's very interesting. As a finance professional, have moved to the top of the leadership in the company as a president director. So you have a very long experience across countries and in the global setting as well. And maybe you can share with us about that experience, what kind of, things or in your profile, or maybe what kind of knowledge that we should acquire to be able to move ahead or move on the top, just like you. So
Okay, one of the main traits I believe in it is knowing the business in detail. So the business acumen is very important, regardless whether in the finance or any other profession. It is very important to be able to move ahead, step forward. And if you knowing your business, you will be able to not getting the trust, earning the trust. So earning the trust from your stakeholders is also building some kind of relationship and communication within the work environment that they will not consider, because many people of our different stakeholders working with the finance, they will consider the finance as part of their audit, as part of their, they are making some blaming or pointing fingers. This should not be the case. If you start earning the trust of your stakeholders, so there will be partnership. This partnership will be building this kind of trust, and this will enable everyone to trust your judgment, trust your analysis, and for the sake of the long-term relationship and the objective of the company, you will be able to add value. So my advice is not to look for title, is to look how you add value and make impact. This will be easy part for any position or profession to move forward in their career.
Okay, so you're saying that maybe the technical knowledge is 20% and 80% is, earning trust and then collaborating with other part of the company. So, like I'm imagining right now, we have studied a lot for CFA, for example. So that's only account for like 20% of the work too.
But my point is, it's not about percentage, because you'll not be able to earn the trust without knowing the details of your business itself.
Sure,
so the technical part is very important. We cannot minimize this value of the technical part. Yeah. But it's not about only having the technical part without having a good communication, understanding of the business, building team that are resilient, like Pa Didi mentioned, so we'll be able to move forward on this one.
Yes, because, like as in my friends, a lot of finance guys are nerd, kind of. And maybe good communication, we still need a lot of things to learn to be a good communicator. So that's a very interesting thing, Mr. Akram. And second question on your experience, your journey. You have moved to Indonesia from long experience, I think, in the Middle East, Egypt, Sudan, Yeah, and what do you think is the similarity or in the difference in the profile, economic profile, or in the finance landscape between those countries, and also what kind of knowledge or framework that you have learned in this country and can be implemented here in Indonesia?
I think don't be deceived with the growth. The growth might have some kind of impact in the future that you can see. So there always will be in any type of business levels of maturity and slowing down. So you have to build your resilience for the company for those days that are not good. So moving forward from different countries, all of them across all my career have economical challenges, political challenges, currency challenges. So if you are not ready for those type of changes and building your team resilience and the company resilience of being proactive for different scenarios by diversity. And when I'm saying diversity, I'm not referring to one aspect of diversity, but diversity of suppliers, diversity of markets, diversity of team and calibers you are working with, diversity of customers. This will build some kind of resilience. So if this source of income is not as before, you have another way to go for. If this supplier, like for example, currently in the Middle East, there is some war. So the suppliers coming or the components coming for your company from this area, if you have that such a diversity only from this type of the world and not from the other one, you will have the impact significantly. In addition to that, how you can build the team to be accountable so they can take quick decision. Because in terms of crisis, if you have a long way process of approvals and decisions without some kind of delegation, there will be a risk that your reaction will be late. So it will impact your company growth. It will impact your company reaction to the situation that I'm having. So being diversified, having some kind of quick delegation process so you can take decision to the limits, will be able to make some kind of impact and mitigate or minimize the impact coming from the outsource effects. And this is what we are trying to do here, even in Indonesia, because Indonesia has a very great plan to be implemented. The economy is growing significantly. The government and Prabowo have a huge plans and actions to be done. And our role in the private sector, how we can support this, and not impact. So for us, for example, in Elsewedy, we have built a lot of export business. So they will support when we have such currency, a little bit devaluation that is happening, how we can, for the export business, to have some kind of diversity. So it's also a more of foreign currency coming to the country, exporting from here to different part of the world. So this is also part of the advice, part of the learning lessons I have learned from different countries.
Okay. Thank you. That's very interesting. So if I summarize, maybe the global perspective is important, but like tailor it to the locality and also knowing what's inside the company, you know, like managing different parts of it, and then always have a helicopter view of the company is important as well to where will go, the business will go. Thank you, Mr. Akram. I will move to Pak Didik.
Yes.
So you have spent nearly 2 decades in the manufacturing sector, and especially in the finance landscape. What is interesting to me is that you seems to have done a lot of cost optimization and also a very thorough, maybe detail on the plan and project, this kind of thing. And what do you suggest, or like what's the strategy to be continuous one? Because usually when we kind of do some optimization and then have a big win, and then next is investing big time, and you know, like this kind of volatility in the company, and then we happy, we got a lot of money, and then we spend a lot, and then cost efficiency again to have a money. So how do you manage this all, especially in the manufacturing industry?
Thank you, Ivana. So why is cost optimization very important thing? Because of we run in the business which is very strong the competition, right? So if we win the competition, especially for the product, we can deliver the product is competitive with a good quality of cost. For sure, 50% more we can win the competition. This is the things why we focus on that, especially in the manufacturing side. The second thing is cost optimization. I said again, this is about not about running, cutting the cost, but the important thing is I agree with Pak Akram, creating the value, right, for that. So for us, is cost optimization is like the culture, yeah. So I can inform to you my experience before. Then I worked from the local company, just acquisition by multinational company previously. So that thing, the culture is this is already in the good, in the best way. Okay, so every person even is working more than 15 years. Okay, so they said that we already optimum. So you cannot do it like the cutting cost again. So nothing we can do it. But I think that we have always have the room improvement, right? There are not the best condition. Always have the room how to improve on that, right? Especially for our costs. So we are working with the existing employee, especially like, with the 15 years seniority, for example. We inform them that okay, we try to see the opportunity to improve our cost. In the end, we can deliver our saving to the welfare, to the employee. Okay, so this is like the engagement also for the persons to have the idea, to collaborate the idea that the things deliver the company is more competitive, for example. Okay, first year, this is very difficult because of when I go into the floor and I campaign this, very refusing from the person, right? Because why you cut the cost, everything? No, we not cut the cost.
Ya?
The culture, I think the important is about the culture, right? But we try again, yeah. We campaign, we try again, then we deliver more than 500K US dollars in 1 year. You can imagine. In the end, after that, we can increase like the canteen, okay? We can increase like, the welfare, right? We have like the family day. Previously, we don't have like that, okay? So, again, this is coming from the employee and go to the employee again. So, I think it's the important thing, how to keep the momentum, for example, right? This is, we cannot put it in the one-time project, but we need to continuously. How to continuously? Of course, we need to track, yeah, the project, whether already delivered or not, everything's right. And after that, we can like, if successfully, we can celebrate even the small thing, but we can celebrate in order to keep the engagement for the employee. And also we can put it the reward, for example, for the idea that we can successfully. So I already running in the 3 or 4 company. Previously, we put it like the cost saving initiative program, CSIP. Then we have another company, we set rapid plan optimization program. And we have like another company, we put a cost saving initiative. And then the last company, and Albea, we put it like the CI, yeah, continuous improvement, like the Kaizen. So I think the important thing is how to make it the culture of every department to thinking we can put it the idea, and in the end we can put it the cost in the effectively way, COGS in the more competitive, and in the end we can win the competition. For sure, in terms of the finance, we can deliver of the revenue for sure, right, in profitability. That's the thing from my side, yeah.
Okay, that's interesting. From the employee, go back to the employee, all the benefit. And you have mentioned that building a new culture is very hard, but you can do it. And the next question may be about the how to maintain it. Sorry. as the company grows, we want the company to grow fast and then become big. And as an individual also, right? As a personal, I want to get better job and maybe better pay, something like that. And this culture is increasing as well in terms of, like spending, right?
Yes.
For example, when the company is this big and you can minimize the cost. But if you feel like, oh, the company now is earning a lot of money, let's spend more, something like that, Pak. And how do you keep both of the side? The company have to be growing and earning more revenue, but at the same time continuously have the finance discipline for all of the employee and keeping the culture of that discipline as the company grows bigger and bigger.
Interesting question, yeah. For me is we need to put it the balancing between the investing and also strict the control cost, right?
I see.
Because, for example, for the growing, you have like the investment, you have like the projection of the growth, for example, in terms of the revenue. For sure, you need to have analyze about the cost expenses more, right? So, again, we need to measurement about the cost and benefit analysis, for sure. The second thing is, again, for me, is about the value, creating the value. For example, if you say about the investment of A machine, for example, so what is the impacted in terms of the value in the end?
I see.
Whether this is you can have like the benefit profitability more comparing with your investment. For example, if you have the payback period until 5 years, this is not worth it. But if you have the payback period only 1 year, for sure this is very benefit for us, and we need to consider about the running that project. So for me is investing is one thing for sure. We need to investing growing for the business, but again don't forget about the cost control.
Yeah,
This one.
That's a very hard thing, and you have to do it day by day. And do you have any kind of like experience on? It's not running perfectly every time, every day. For example, the company have expanded to build a new plan, and is there any specific experiences that you have faced to overcome this kind of financial discipline to be implemented?
Yeah, I have experience when I created the building factory in Batang, in 2024. Okay, so this is the good experience that we have a lot of fund investment. Okay, from the overseas. This is new company.
Okay.
So for sure that a lot of money we can have, but sometimes we cannot. We lose control. Okay, we lose control because of we have a lot of money. In the end, we cannot put it the strictly control because of everything is go ahead. Then when I joined the company, okay, so for me is very important thing to have like the cost control in term of the project. So we put it like the gunshot, right? Okay, so based on that we have like the phasing. Okay, phasing 1, phasing 2, phasing 3, and also we have like the cost controlling in terms of the phasing. So, for example, if the operation asking about the investment, okay, this one, why is you lost the budget? For example, you need to put it everything in the on track. For example, so for me is the strategy is how to put everything, especially for the greenfield manufacturing, right? So in the project management, so we put it like every step projects, so we can make sure in terms of the timing we can deliver. The second thing is don't forget you need to deliver tracking about the cost. Okay, so based on that, by tracking, by audit, by procedure. For example, if you have like investment in terms of the pocket budget is exit this one, so in terms another pocket you need to reduce. This is the things, right? To make sure everything on the track in the end.
So we have to be a financial police then. Have to keep track on everything. Have to be. So
have to be.
Yeah. Have to do it every day as well. So thank you, Pak Didi. Maybe one last question for our both speaker here. So we have here finance professionals and also finance students in the audience, Pak. And maybe one question. What is the one habit that identifies a CFO who actually drive growth, not only stewarding the balance sheet? Maybe starting with Pak Akram.
My advice to own what you are doing. So you have to have ownership and accountable for it. If you have this ownership of what you are doing, you are building your brand of a personal brand, and you're building your legacy, whether in this company or in future company. And by time you have to have some kind of a continuous improvement, small change now will make a big impact in the future. So having this trait within any junior or senior person, it will build some kind of improvement, and understanding your stakeholders and how they are impacting your job and how you are impacting their role will make enabling the communication together. So you are having a continuous improvement in your process and in their process, which will have a collective improvement in the company across it.
So for finance professional, you have to get out of your desk and like mingle with everyone else. Basically something like that. Okay, how about you, Didik?
Okay, I think it's for the student, right, and also for the finance professional. Yeah, for my suggestion is, as the finance leader, we need to have like the partnership thinking and innovate thinking. Okay, so partnership. What the mean as partnership is, we need to collaborate each other. From the finance, we cannot just bookkeeper, but also we need to improve in terms of the business, how to make the suggestion, advice, to another stakeholder in order to creating the value of the business, and also adaptability. Okay, in the end, in the future, finance should be adapt. Okay, for example, if in terms of the economic is uncertainty like here, right? So for sure, finance we need to see what is the point we need to contribute. For example, is in the Middle East crisis, right? This is the example where we have the disruption of the supply chain. But from the final perspective, what is the function to improve of the situation? For example, we can collaborate with the procurement, for example, to make sure that our production is not disruption, because of the Middle East crisis. And in the end, we need to have like the strategic how to finance is contribute clearly by we understand about the business. That's the things here. We cannot just know about the accounting, but in the end, in 2045, because of the topic is 2045, finance must be adaptability and also can be like the real business partnering and knowing the business. Yeah. This is my suggestion to student and
thank you, Pak Didik.
professional.
So being the partner of all of the business sector in the company. Thank you so much. And we've come to the end of this session. Thank you so much for the valuable insight. Maybe if I can summarize a little bit about what we have discussed is, first of all, Mr. Akram always say that being collaborative and being also knowing the detail of the business is the most important thing of your profession in this financial world, and also earning trust from your stakeholder and how that's you grow your career as a professional. And that's the thing that I will remember as I grow my career. And I agree with you that it's applied not only to the finance professional, but also all of the profession, right? And Pak Didik also share with us how in detail we also have to have a financial discipline and also creating values that adaptable to the world that continuously changing. So finance professional is not only rigid on the standard and accounting standard and then bookkeeping and this sort of thing, but now more than the world is moving so fast and you have to move along that. But thank you so much for both our speakers here. Please give applause to Mr. Akram and Pak Didik. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
And we've come to the end of the session, and thank you for your attention, and please enjoy the rest of the program. Thank you.